bitchin'. Okay, boys. Episode 2 of the Goon Gang podcast. I'm here with the boy Ben, of course.
Yeah, I'm back again.
And we have a special guest star today. So Ben actually came down to Miami, and we're doing this with our pal Rob, who we mentioned in the last podcast.
Hey, pleasure to be here.
Yeah, right. I bet it is.
All right, dude, just because you forgot about me yesterday, like, doesn't mean you have to.
Okay, so quick story. Yesterday, so Ben came last night. We're recording this on a Saturday.
Oh,
yeah, it was a 4-hour drive.
Anyways,
shut the fuck
okay. Anyways, so we went to get dinner last night, and I was just talking about the people from high school who I see at college. I was like, yeah, I see like 3 of my closest friends, and that's about it. And then I looked next to me and I realized like I didn't mention Rob as one of those friends. I was like, oh shit. So if that gives you guys perspective on Rob as our friend.
No, it was literally the deepest piece of shade that has ever been thrown at me.
No, I felt like an asshole.
Took me so
like the
off
second
guard.
I turned my eyes, like saw him and
You saw the
my
tear
eyes,
in the
I
corner of
was
my
like,
eyes.
oh my god, like I felt like such an asshole.
Dude, you really were crying too.
No,
we're in the middle
I
of
did tear up a little bit, I'm
bar
not
and
gonna
you're
lie.
over here like crying.
Okay, I did cry that hard.
No, I felt like an asshole. My B brother.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We just dapped up.
Yeah.
If you couldn't hear that.
That's a satisfying little clap right there.
A little some ASMR.
The very
gaps.
dry hands rubbing in front
But
of my ears.
anyways,
Get
so
your
we
hands away
brought,
from the
we brought
microphone.
Rob onto the podcast because we were like, he's like, our number 3. Like he's the it's the 3 Musketeers.
It's
here.
the trifecta.
Exactly.
The Father, the Son, and Rob.
Yeah. Yo, we might have to cut this shit, boy. Anyways, so we fuck, I kind of lost my train of thought because Rob was kind of speaking on his ass. But no, you're good.
All right.
So basically, I was friends with Ben through we really clicked freshman year of our school.
But we were friends in kindergarten.
Yes,
so he started to bully me.
I have not heard about that.
anyways.
Wait, he bullied you?
Yeah, he was always a dick to me.
No, okay, it was
Okay.
always me and another one of our locker buddies, and so yeah, we would always just dick around with Ben. It wasn't anything serious. We just dick around, give him a hard
Right.
time. Ben would get buttered.
So I was
This
pissed.
guy's a pussy.
Yeah, the
No, I'm
lockers
kidding.
are
I'm
alphabetized, so it just dawned on me, if you wanted to bully him all the way up to senior year in high school.
No, yeah,
He
no,
did.
Ben were right next to
And he
each other.
still is.
Yeah, you just have
Exactly.
Stockholm syndrome.
But-
You're not
Right,
actually
you're right.
friends.
So, anyways, yeah, me and Ben were pretty close freshman year going forward. I met Rob, I met him during high school, but when we really clicked was, I forget if it was junior or senior.
I think it was
year.
I think it was junior. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember we used to go to the bathroom together.
Oh yeah, and
I don't remember what you're talking
Dude,
about.
we all stood at the 3 urinals together, and we'd all stand there and be
We
like, "Hey,
complimented
nice
each other.
watch."
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, anyone who was, I would say anyone who were not us, because we just don't we just didn't care about standing next to each other at the urinals. I'm not gonna wait to pee if there's an open urinal right
Yeah.
next to someone.
Of course.
So everyone would always wait for a urinal, and we
That's
would be
so
the guys.
stupid.
Exactly, we would be the guys who are I'm not waiting to pee. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal. It's not like I'm checking out this guy's ding dong.
For
And if I am, it's none of your
And,
business.
and if I am, then mind your own fucking business,
Yeah,
asshole.
no. For the women in the audience, there is a very clear etiquette in the bathroom where you try to pick a urinal that doesn't have anyone next.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Yes,
It's just
right.
etiquette.
But if they're
It's a waste
waiting,
of time.
if you're waiting for a urinal, don't wait for a urinal that's open because someone's right next to them. Anyways,
Yeah, that's stupid.
we would be the guys to walk right up to freshmen and stuff, and we just look at each other.
Sexual harassment.
We would be like, hey, nice watch, and then we'd escalate. So we'd be like, hey, nice watch. We'd be like, hey, is my mole growing any bigger? And then at the end we'd just be like, hey, nice dick.
cock. Yeah.
This was us together. We're not talking to the freshmen, just to make
Yeah.
that
Yes,
clear.
yes, just
Yeah.
to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's great because you'd get some really good reactions out of them. Because a lot of them don't expect juniors or seniors, upperclassmen, to be like that. It's sort of
Exactly.
there's an intimidation. aspect to it.
Dude, there were, like, now that I think about it, there were just so many times where, like, the freshmen were, like, eyeing me. Like, they're actually, like, scared kind of shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I'm just checking out another guy's dick.
Yeah,
Like, down.
Dude, it's 2018. Get used to it. It's 2013 now, but, like,
You're
At the time, yeah.
You're over here being like 5'5", and these fucking 6-foot tall freshmen are afraid of
Yeah,
you.
exactly,
no,
exactly. No, we were, like, both, me, Ben, and Rob are all pretty short guys.
Yeah.
Rob's
I'm the
tallest
tallest one in
here.
the group, and I am statistically average.
5'9".
Let's say I'm like
Not
5'7",
even.
5'8",
Yeah,
maybe.
five-
I don't know.
5'7".
The last time I measured myself was. It's been a while, but yeah.
It's absolutely crazy looking back at high school because we had 2 kids in our class that were over 6 feet in, like, freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
like
dude, no, we had some big bodies in high school. Like, big
yeah.
bodies.
And the
man.
biggest guy always sat in front of me in math class. I remember. I'm not allowed to bring up names, but like
Big man.
Big man.
We'll call him Big Man. He knows
Man.
who he is.
Yeah,
you
he
listen to
does.
this, Big Man? Love ya, miss ya.
Yeah.
Keep being a big man.
Sorry, I never got a dunk on you.
So yeah, Rob and I met junior year. We had a couple
Yeah.
classes like the same semester
Yeah,
together.
we were
and
talking
just
about
got
this
really
beforehand.
close.
What was it? Psychology.
Psychology and,
And cooking.
like a cooking class.
Cooking
yeah.
class.
Home ec.
Yeah, so-
And
I was
if you
there.
could tell like how much we were learning by taking psychology and
Oh yeah.
cooking.
No.
It's hype.
See,
sounds
Oh,
like
it was fun. I had a good time.
I figured
I didn't
like
learn shit, but it was fun.
no, I figure now is a good time to say in the cooking class, I will concede you were our teacher's favorite student.
Yeah.
But I was the best one. Let it be known,
I will
I
give-
never lost.
That's a
cooking
fair deal.
competition.
No, you're completely right. You're
Thank you.
completely right.
I'll agree to that.
Oh yeah.
She's
If
married
that
now.
teacher is
Oh,
listening,
He's still single. Hit him up.
dude, I was actually gonna send her a link for this podcast, and maybe I should wait a couple weeks for that.
Right.
Hey, you know who you are. You are honestly one of my favorite
Yeah,
teachers.
for sure.
Easily
sure.
top 2.
Yeah,
You're
my favorite.
interchangeable.
My favorite teacher at high school.
Yeah.
For sure.
Honestly,
Right.
made my day, made my week,
Yeah.
made my month, made my year.
So with Rob on and everything, we wanted to talk about some of our favorite
Some of our favorite
memories and
Rob
events.
moments.
Yeah,
That
with,
involved me.
yeah.
Does this include the econ one?
uh,
One where I snap?
we can
sure.
talk about it. I don't care.
Okay,
That's-
we should probably save that one for last.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
good.
Why not?
So one of my this wasn't really like necessarily anything Rob did. It was just something that happened, just so happened to happen to Rob. It was my graduation party.
Oh god.
I had a graduation party and we went to my neighbor's house because they had a little more land and room and everything, so we were able to just run around, be kind of fucking stupid.
Great night, by the way.
I bought fireworks for just us kids to mess around with and everything. So like I got a bunch of Roman candles for the kids, and then I
for
actually
the
got.
kids.
Yeah, for the kids, everyone's 18 years old. For the kids.
Yeah, but like when we're playing with those, like
Oh, yeah.
we are not
No,
above
you-
the mental
you
age of, like,
regress back to
7.
6,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So, and then I got like real fireworks that I let the big adults handle
Yeah.
because we were not mature enough
when
for this.
When he says real fireworks, I mean the kind of fireworks that if you're standing on the sidewalk, you will feel the concrete vibrate under you.
Yeah, it's like
These
it's
were
like these
big.
stadium fireworks.
Yeah.
And so
It's like a bass drum from God.
what I usually do when I light off like bigger fireworks like those, I'll go and I'll get like a couple of 2x4s and I'll drill the bottom of the firecrackers works into the boards. So then you could just run down the line with a torch and light them all, and so they won't tip over or anything. And so I wasn't handling the lighting of these fireworks, but some of the adults there who were doing it had a little too much to drink, and they just had these torches and like just basically like ran
Blow
down
torches.
the line. Yeah, they had blow torches and ran down the line with them and just like kind of lit all the fuses at once practically. And so I would say there were like the first like 5 or 6 were completely fine, nothing happened. And so when they get to the next board, the first one goes off, and the momentum from that one going off shook the board, and so the board tips over. So then, flash back to where we're at. Like we're probably like less than 100 yards away.
Not even, because before that, we were like having a little mental competition, trying to get as close as we could.
We were getting as close as we could, and I was like, I remember like I was kneeling on the ground. And I had all these Roman candles. I was like, I was like undoing the packaging.
You had
like,
Roman candles
handing them out. Exactly. I was like,
yeah.
I was like ripping off the packaging and everything. And I was handing them to a bunch of people our age. I was like, oh, like let's go like run out into the field and shoot these at each other once these fireworks are done and everything. Like,
it was a good time. And like, just to provide a little bit more detail that will come into play later, the neighbors, I think it was the neighbors, also started setting off fireworks.
Dude, what? Mm-hmm. I wasn't here for this, so
yeah, no, Ben was already at school.
It's shitty.
Yeah, so Ben's in a special school that starts at weird times. It's not
Yeah, it
it's
starts
not
in
a
July.
special school, but yeah. No, it starts really early. But no, the neighbors were setting off fireworks too, so I thought it was like a competition. And I heard fireworks going off to our left. So I turned to like look at the other fireworks, and then Anthony, you can continue.
So, yeah, there's probably like a pack of like less than 10 of us at the time.
Yeah.
Like most people weren't out there getting the Roman candles yet, but we were just getting them ready. And I remember I was kneeling on the ground, and all of a sudden I see like this ball of fire bounce on the ground, like coming at me, and I see it stops it stops in the middle of our, like we were in a circle, and it stopped right in the middle of us. I shit bricks. I was like, oh, shit, and I took a second. I like looked at it. It's like shit. I need to start running, and so I booked it, and then it just blew up right in our pack, and my ears are ringing. I thought I went deaf. But
yeah, same here.
And then like we were all like, oh, is everyone all right? And I look over at Rob. There's a fucking crater in his leg, and he is just bleeding. He's like, yeah, I'm good. and I was like, that is not the case. And so apparently it hit one of Rob's nerves. So he didn't feel it.
I legitimately did not feel it. So do you mind if I?
No, yeah, you go for it. You go for it.
So what happened is like my side of the story is pretty much the same as Anthony's up until that point where I was looking towards the neighbor. And all of a sudden I hear a scream. Like I hear an adult scream, but it's a party. Like people scream. Next thing you know, there's a giant like magenta flash of light. I can't hear anything, and it feels like my leg is on fire.
It's a fucking flashbang.
Yeah, no, for real. It was like that.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, na, 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 na. You know you wanna bang. Okay.
Okay.
Just continue.
Okay, yeah. No, so I start running because it feels like my leg's on fire. And then everyone comes to a stop. Everyone's like screaming. Everyone's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, my leg kind of hurts. I look down. And the first thing I notice is like all my leg hair is singed off. I'm like, okay, that's pretty normal. And I see I'm gushing blood out of my leg. And I'm not a squeamish person around blood.
But around holes in your leg.
No, I was not freaking out at all. I was just like, oh, this is probably like, I'm going to have to go to the hospital and get stitches. My parents actually didn't want me to be at that party that way because they thought there was going to be drinking, which there wasn't.
Yeah.
From your people.
Yeah. But from the kids' point of view, yeah, the kids didn't have anything to drink.
Yeah.
The adults,
Definitely.
They were gone.
Yeah, they
were gone.
toasted.
But we still just went in the bounce house and fucked them up anyway.
No, so I look down and I see this massive hole in my leg. I'm like, shit, like my parents are gonna like freak out. And I was debating like jumping
Always
in
my mom.
Always my mom. I was debating actually like getting in the car and driving myself to the hospital because I had my insurance card and all that. The person whose house it was, I'm just gonna call him a nice guy. He is a nice guy. He comes up and he's like, oh my god, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's just like, let me take you like to my bathroom and clean this up for you. And I'm like, cool. Retrospectively, I ran across him after all this like boiled over, and he thought I was gonna sue him. He legitimately thought I was gonna sue him, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But he takes me to his bathroom, and he starts pouring into like hydrogen peroxide and whatnot. And this like, it's a crater in my leg. Like I can see it right now. A solid portion of the muscle is gone. And so he was putting.
Did it look like spaghetti or something? Like
No, it was just a bloody hole. Like that's yeah. I mean, I was aroused. Don't get me wrong.
shut the fuck up.
No,
going.
so he was freaking out. He started like pouring stuff in it to like try to clean it out. And he's looking at me. He's like, hey, you don't like need to be a man around me. Like you can tell me if this hurts. And I like told him straight up, it does not hurt. And he's like, dude, stop lying to me. Like you have a hole in your leg. I can see your muscle. It's gotta hurt. I took my finger and I just stuck it in there. Oh yeah, I probably should have.
Just keep going.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
stuck your finger in the bloody hole. Yeah.
It's my first bit of action. Yeah, no, I stuck my finger in the hole, and it did not hurt. And I swear to God, yeah, I think you're fucking yourself. I swear to God, he almost fainted.
I would have.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's very
Squeamish.
Yes.
Yeah, he slaps a bandage on it. I go back to the party. I debate jumping in the pool, and I'm like, that's gonna get infected if I jump in the pool. Also, there's gonna be like a blood stain in the pool. Okay, these guys are making fun of me behind the but no, eventually I go home, and my sister's a nurse, and I'm just chilling on the couch as my dad's like watching TV, and this happened on the right side of my right leg, and so my leg is facing the wall, so my dad doesn't see it. My sister comes back from work. She works a 12-hour shift, so she was exhausted. She walks by me to go to the bathroom, and she like stops and she's like, Rob, like you got the couch soaked in blood. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And then my dad's like, what? And
I was like, we do this, bro.
yeah. So my sister takes me like into the bathroom. Once again, she's a nurse. She deals with surgeries. And she like takes off the bandage. She looks at it, and she just goes into her purse and like, don't arrest my sister. She's a great person, but she's apparently been like taking stuff out of the supply ward because she had sanitized like tweezers, hydrogen peroxide, but it was the hospital kind. It came in a very special bag.
I'm just saying, if she gets in any sort of trouble, it's completely your fault.
Hey, they don't know his
She's
last
gonna
name.
Yeah, right.
We didn't say
that
her
is true.
last name.
Robert.
I'll break your teeth. Yeah, I love you. No, but she starts going out like into my leg, and once again I'm gonna give you guys like a squeamish warning. But I propped my leg. I propped my leg up on the sink, and she went in there with tweezers. She started pulling out burned bits of hair and skin, and fun stuff. It was a pretty big gash when it happened. It's shrunk now, but I almost fainted because I could see her moving under the skin, and I couldn't feel it. And the reason why I couldn't feel it is because all the nerves in the area were burned to a crisp, and it was right on the layer between like my lowest layer of skin and the top layer of muscle, and so that was all burned away. Yeah, then just slapped a bandage on it. Went to college and it healed about 3 months later.
It was a great night.
You know that
it was a fun night, dude.
You still have a hole in your leg too.
Yeah, I do.
It's like a burnt hole.
I lifted up my pant leg for these guys. I know they like to see some skin. But yeah, no, I've got. If you touch my leg, which you can do whenever you want, you can feel there is a dent in my muscle.
A little thing about Rob, we forgot to mention this is like
Oh my God.
He's definitely the gay guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy who's
shit.
always making really uncomfortable remarks, and you're like, am I hanging around this kid?
Look, there's nothing wrong with it, but he doesn't accept it, and we just want him to.
Yes, that Ben is completely right. There's nothing wrong with it, where it's like, we just make fun of him because he hasn't accepted it yet.
Oh, they do make fun of me.
You're the guy that makes toe jokes all the time.
Dude,
You're like,
toes?
take off your socks. Let me look at your toes real
Because
quick.
it's a great way to break the ice.
Yeah, no, tell the.
It's
tell
a great way
this is-
to
tell
go
the-
to
Tell the
break.
story
Kettering
about
story.
our first, Kettering
Okay,
experience.
okay. So last year, 2018, Anthony was turning. What year?
Or no, it's 2019.
Or it was 2019.
It's
It was this year.
January,
Okay.
yeah.
So Anthony was turning 19 because it was Doomsday, his birthday, and
As they call it.
so they decided they would come up to Kettering since I already started and they were still on break. And it was MLK Day, also that like the Monday, so it's a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
So they're hanging up here with me, and we go into Quaid's room because why not? We went and watched a movie or something. I don't know. I guess I was
like
just
you were just like
introducing
introducing.
Yeah. So we go into Quaid's room, and one of our friends is there, and she's just sitting there. We're introducing everybody, and then what? She's sitting there without socks on.
Yeah,
and you
she
say,
was like wearing flip-flops or something.
Maybe, yeah. And you just say straight up to her. This is like the first sentence you've said to her.
No, this
He
was
walked in and he said this. This is his opening
This
line.
was the first impression.
What did you say?
I was like, hey, those are like some pretty nice toes, guy.
And me and Ben just looked at Rob had never talked about toes before. Ever. In our like the year and a half I've known him at that point.
I think I
or 2
mentioned
years.
it.
In the
I think I
3
mentioned
years
it.
I've known him, I've never heard him talk about toes up
How many
until that
years?
point. Freshman year when we met.
Yeah.
So like I was about to say that was probably 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was like
2.5, 3.
Yeah, but anyways, we were like, what the? Why is this guy talking about toes? He's never mentioned anything about that before, and he just went right in for the kill.
Yeah, no, she seemed pretty like cool with it, all things considered.
Yeah, she's cool about stuff like that. Still, this is the first sentence you've said to her.
Yeah.
Like,
Random guy, like, I'm wearing a bowl cut. Flexing the bowl cut.
shit, you had to bring up the bowl
Unironically wearing the bowl cut.
Dude, let's talk about.
First thing that she
Let's
did.
just talk about that weekend in general.
Oh, it was
was
great. Even
such
though
a
we
wild
played
time.
like 6 hours of Smash Bros.
Oh, yeah.
The whole
drank
time.
No, it was-
Gel.
It was
Yeah,
a
you
great
did.
time.
Yeah.
I was about to say I want to talk about that incident.
Yeah,
Oh.
let's go right to that.
The
So
couple
Ben,
incidents tied.
so Ben has this. There was this water fountain in his dorm. It was one of those water fountains where you can like
Fill up
drink
water
it
bottles.
normally, or you can fill the water bottles, and there's that little sensor. So the first day we got there, Ben was like, "Watch this."
This thing's on like waist level. It's so
Yeah, it
low.
was really low.
Yeah.
So
So
Ben
low.
was like, "Watch this," and he like put his mouth like next to the sensor, so it would start dropping
on the
water.
bottle filler, yeah.
Yeah, and so he would do that.
This is unsanitary. Don't do it, kids.
And so
Dirty.
so I started doing that like after Ben did that. I was like, wow, that's really cool as fuck. And so one time I go to do it for some like we were all in like kind of like this like
We're in a very
slap
slap
happy
happy
mood.
mood, yeah.
We we're all just like running, jumping around. Like I just run over there, and I go up to the sensor and I start filling up.
And so when he went down to do this,
Because it was low as
It
at
was low.
waist level, and
He-
I kind of had to like bend down a little
he
bit.
had to contort himself a little bit, and so his ass was like pressed against his jeans. It was right for the spanking.
Jesus Christ.
I get a running start. I cock my like arm back and my wrist, and I just come in and I'm moving them all in. It was beautiful.
Long story short, he slapped my ass.
so hard that it hurt my wrist.
Well, he slapped my ass. This was all like one of those things that happened in
In a
a
split
single
second.
second.
It was
all
beautiful.
so fast. So Rob slapped my ass. I turned and just spit my water out
It
everywhere.
looked like if I had to draw a comparison to it, it looked like a blockbuster movie, someone getting shot in the head.
No,
Yeah.
what
It
it looked
was-
like, it looks like the Zapruder film when JFK gets shot. Like
Yeah.
that's the only
Yeah.
way I can describe
No,
it.
That is a great way to describe it. It literally looked like Anthony had been taken out by a sniper.
So then
Except it was me.
I'm like this fucking asshole, and I'm like going for Rob's neck. So then
Yeah.
I get another mouthful of water, and I'm just trying to spit it. I did spit it on him.
You did, yeah.
So then Rob got pissed, and he ran back to Ben's room
Yup.
and grabbed Ben's hair gel and put Ben's hair gel in his mouth
Citrus hair gel.
and just spit it on me. I was
It
like,
tasted
I was
like
like,
citrus.
I was like, what the fuck? like, what did you gain out of that one?
It's like a really weird escalation. It goes from, spanking to spitting water to like fucking chugging hair gel. Which, by the way, like you think that, don't drink hair gel, by the way. I expected it to taste bad. It did not taste bad. It was citrus hair gel. It was like orange citrus, and it tasted like orange citrus.
Wow.
Good for you, I guess.
What do you know?
You think I lost out by putting hair gel in my mouth? Like I might have cancer, but like I'm the winner.
But at least he's happy.
But at least he spit hair gel on me.
yeah, I regret nothing.
God, and there was like not right after that happened, but after that happened, when we had the fucking all the high school those high school kids.
Yeah.
They came into Kettering
I
for like a
forgot
tour
about
or whatever, and they're all on the floor below us. And the way
no
that
offense to Kettering, but it's not well designed.
it's not, I'm gonna put that right out
No.
there. The dorms are from the 1970s or something,
No,
and they haven't been updated
It's
since
old
then.
school.
But so we're there, and they have these glass windows that go along the side of the building. They start at the top and go all the way to the bottom. They're about like a foot wide, and they go even through the floor. So the floor just goes right up to the window, and there's a little 2 millimeter sized crack between the window and the floor.
And
So
we capitalized on that.
oh, we capitalized. So these high schoolers that were coming for the tour, they're all on the bottom floor. Just hanging out. They're looking at, what was it, the blood moon or something like that?
Oh, yeah, there's a blood moon.
Yeah,
the super
People are
moon.
trying to get pictures of that.
And we're on the second floor. We're hanging out. We hear people talking under us. I'm like, do you hear that?
Yeah,
Like, where are these
we
voices?
were so confused. We didn't know where the voices were coming from.
Yeah, and then so we figure out they're on the floor below us,
Yeah.
and we grab a piece of paper. We draw the ghost from the SpongeBob episode where
With
he's
the
on the
haunted shopping.
yeah, and and we start talking to the people below us. We're like, hey, you guys want to see something cool? And we slide it down through the crack, and you just hear a bunch of screaming and laughing.
Yeah, I was about to say, the first time you heard a scream, I was like, what the fuck? And then you heard a bunch of laughing, and then after that, because we dropped it down there, we went down there, we were like, hey, we kind of need this back. And then we just like went up there and did it again.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
we-
I ended
we
up
need-
having like a 20-minute conversation with a couple of the girls that were down there. It was really
Through the crack, you weren't even down there. You were
Yeah,
just
no,
talking
no,
through
yeah,
the crack
through
in
the
the
crack.
floor.
Yeah, it was weird. That was a really weird time.
Especially since it happened right after we were screaming at Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
For kissing
We
Cindy.
watched
Okay,
the first
yeah,
and
let's
final
talk about this.
episode of Jimmy Neutron.
First of all, CGI's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
yeah.
so bad. Like,
Actually, we'll give you nightmares.
Before we talk about those episodes, let's talk about the one actual episode where Jimmy Neutron's dad was like, I sat on a banana once and it completely changed my life. That was actually not edited, not a meme,
Yeah, no, that is
It
what
is.
he said.
that is in there. And I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we watched the first and last episode of Jimmy Neutron.
it was good. It was a good walk down
Yeah.
memory lane. Like, that was a
Oh,
good show.
Yes.
It was very nostalgic.
It's just the animation is scary.
It's
It's like
weird.
those
It is.
those 90s cartoons
And
or
their heads are like
CGI.
so big compared to their bodies.
I don't know how their necks didn't snap. Just
Exactly.
from sheer weight. Yeah.
Fucking looked like their heads were like veggie tails and then they
Q-tip
had-
ass.
Yeah, yeah, and then they had little fucking Q-tip bodies.
No, this reminds me, like, it's slightly off topic, but if you want to have a really weird trip down memory lane, watch Toy Story 1.
Oh,
the CGI
yeah.
does not match up,
That's
especially
true.
The
compared to
spider,
first
the
one.
spider with the baby head always
Yeah,
gave me issues.
No, it gave me nightmares. Actually, gave me nightmares. I know Toy Story is like sacred to some people, but ever since that, watching it as a kid,
I don't want to play with you anymore.
no. The Incredibles,
Classic.
The Incredibles was my favorite movie.
Dude, we have to write this down. We have to do an episode where we just talk about Pixar stuff.
Deal.
That would be really cool.
If you call me back in, assuming I haven't already ruined it,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you've definitely ruined it. Get out of here.
you'll never see me.
But anyways, earlier you mentioned for the fireworks story, your hair got sicked off your legs,
Yes.
and I wanted to talk about a story which brings us into our next topic, which is the cabin that we said we
Hey,
were
the
gonna talk
cabin.
about.
Okay, that was honestly my favorite memory. Like the favorite place to go back home
Yeah,
was the cabin.
that was like
And then
that was high school.
And then
in
your
a
dad
nutshell.
fucking sold it. I'm
Yeah.
so pissed
So
about
a
that.
little backstory.
Back-
My sophomore year, like middle of sophomore year, we sold our house and just moved somewhere else in the district. And my dad's original plan was he wanted to build. He was always wanting to build a new house. So he bought this one property with it had like this old shitty cabin and had
Yeah.
a creek and a waterfall, and it was like secluded in the woods. It was really cool. Like I never saw, like it was on a road that I drive on every single day. It was so cool how
It was so cold in the winter
was-
though. If you
yeah.
didn't have the generator running,
Yeah.
like the windows were all
the
broken.
windows were blasted out. we broke the remaining ones.
And there was a raccoon in the bathroom, so.
Dude, so you basically any event in high school, like we were just going to hang out. The cabin was the spot. We'd always go hang out at the cabin, always go do stupid shit there, like launch fireworks, break stuff,
throw bottles.
like literally anything.
We'll get back to that.
So when you said singeing hair, I thought about this. This is a weird story. So apparently, my mom won this raffle where she basically she won this raffle where she got like a 60-minute or seconds shopping spree at our grocery store near us, and basically she got to start at the front of the store. She gets a shopping cart. She could run to wherever and just grab whatever she sees. And there were like limits on a couple of things.
Oh, okay.
Because like they started her at the farthest
wine.
point from the meat section.
Oh, really?
And you could only get like 2 of the same meat.
Oh, okay.
So she bolted back there and got like, she wanted to go for the meat, and she and she went and she grabbed 2 full-size turkeys. And so later we had the one turkey and finished that, and then the other one went bad before we could have it, because at that time we just like racked up so much food.
Wait, before you go on, just for my own sake, what store was this? Was this a Giant Eagle or?
Acme.
Oh, it was Acme?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grocery store doesn't matter that much, but
I know, I just wanted to
Copyright reasons.
just so I can see it, like visualize it.
So my mom just like handed me the turkey one day. She just goes like, she doesn't say throw this away. She says get rid of this. I was like, here's a golden opportunity. And so I go back to the cabin, and I had some of my other buddies there, Ben and Rob, were in this one. But
No, I wish I was.
it was so funny, but so we go first we go outside of the cabin, and this was the middle of winter, so we I ripped the turkey open, and I put a shit ton of like the big fireworks inside the turkey's stomach. And then I get a line of toilet paper, I drench it all in gasoline, and I just throw a match and see it go. And we were like, and it was so, like, we were just like 16 pyromaniacs at the time. We were like, holy shit, this is awesome. We were like, let's go inside and do this. And so we go into the cabin, and then, because like the turkey was completely fucked at the time, so like we just left the turkey out there to rot, and then we just got more fireworks and got a line of gasoline and toilet paper and just like did it again. But this time I put my body too much over the line of gasoline, so I light the line of toilet paper, and this flame just comes up and it singes the front of my hair, my eyebrows, my eyelashes. I look like a fucking maniac, and like I see these flames like rise up. I was like, we're burning. I was like, this place is burning down right now. I was like, there's no way it's not.
Why the fuck would you do it inside of a wooden cabin?
Because he's 16. Big brain.
I was a pyromaniac. Yeah. It just had to happen.
The floor was concrete, at least, is the only good thing.
Yeah.
Rob will be back. He's taking a break for a second.
So
it's between me and Anthony right now.
Yeah. No. So flames are rising. I'm like, holy shit! Like we are fucking dead. But we're good.
No, you were good. You were good.
Yeah, we're good. Flames went down.
It was just a line of gasoline on toilet paper.
Exactly.
We've done worse in the fire pit or the fireplace.
Yeah. No. So basically, every time we go to the cabin, me and Ben we went. These were like smaller fire. They were just like firecrackers. These things called jumping jacks. They're probably like maybe 2 inches, not even. And
they're still fast. And they go.
Oh yeah, so basically you light them and they just like make that whistling whistling noise and just like fly off. Like they wouldn't crack in the air or anything. They just make the whistling noise and fly in one direction. And so So we would always go and throw it into the like we had a chimney and a fire pit there, so we would always just throw them in the chimney. And we had this metal grate. We were being smart about
We were smart.
We were smart
safe.
about being stupid. We'd always put this metal grate in front of the fireplace so it wouldn't like bounce out at us. But there was always just like it was just short enough so there was just like the smallest crack where it couldn't.
It was like an
it could get
inch
through.
wide.
It was maybe
at
an inch or
most.
two.
Yeah.
Not much. And there was one time I lighted, and I just I run, throw it in there, and I hop over the couch and I hid behind the couch. And Ben was taking a video. We have this video.
I am so proud of myself for taking this video.
This is one of our funniest, most legendary videos. And it comes right out at Ben and hits him. It hits his coat.
Hits me in the chest. I didn't even feel it.
I was about to say, he had a thick coat on,
Yeah.
so he didn't really feel it.
But it was just coming right at me. And on the video, it happens so fast in real life. You just watch the video over in slow motion. When the jumping jack comes out of the fireplace, it lights up the entire cabin. It's like a small sun.
Exactly. No, it's like a shooting star. And we made to be continued meme. So as I threw it in there, you have the music going, and I threw it in the second it pops out, and you see it lighting up the entire cabin.
The entire cabin's red.
And then it just goes to be continued.
I'm proud of that one.
That was a really good meme.
But also with the fucking jumping jacks in the fireplace. Every time we light a fire in the fireplace just to have a fire, there would always be one unburnt jumping jack in there that just goes off.
I was about to say, we'd throw so many in at a time because we'd tie the fuses together. So then there are 30 fuses in one, so there are bound to be a couple that fall off. So then when we just light a fire normally, we just hear some cracks. We just hear a fuse light, we're holy shit, hit the deck. Man.
I always hid behind the couch after that.
Yeah, no,
I was always
Very
behind the
flammable
couch.
Yeah,
but at least it would be a backstop at least,
I-
so I wouldn't get hit. You know.
So yeah, that cabin held a lot of memories for us because that was basically our place to go during high school. And it worked out perfectly in the sense we had it up until the end of high school practically. My
Yeah.
dad ended up selling the property.
Have with
and
your senior year.
It was April, I think, so we had it most of the time, but just that last summer and going, it just wasn't the same. But we definitely made the most use out of it. It was definitely our unique place to call ours.
Oh hell
And,
yeah! So many videos were
I was
taken
about to say,
there.
so many memes were made. So many injuries happened. A lot of ignorant shit, but it was definitely some of my favorite memories for sure.
It's definitely what defines high school.
It is. When I think of when I think of high school, I think of the cabin doing stupid shit. There was, gosh, I feel like you said you wanted to tell a story about the cabin. Am I wrong now?
I don't believe I have a story about the cabin.
Okay.
Dang, you're just boring.
Yeah, I guess you're just fucking.
Oh, there was another story about the cabin. Oh my god, the ice. When we were in the ice. This was my birthday, 2018.
I'm gonna say this
No,
was wrong for the
2019.
sake of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Even though it wasn't. It was a different person, but I'm just gonna say Rob because it's easier.
I do have a cabin story now that you mentioned it. But
Okay. So basically, we had a snow day, right? Or was it a weekend?
It was a weekend because it was a Saturday.
Okay.
It was a very snowy day.
Or it was a Sunday because the next day was Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So we had it was the weekend and it was Ben's birthday, so we all went. The three of us went to the cabin, and yeah, it was snowing and everything. And it was cold as shit, obviously. And like I said, there's a waterfall and a lake and a creek there. So we went there's a lake that goes into a waterfall and then it goes into a creek. So we decided to go. It was frozen, so we decided to go walk on the ice of the creek. One thing I'll say there is that we always had this meme where we'd always just someone would film a video and stay in place, and then someone would go slide across the ice and be like, "I eat ass" or something, comedically clever like that.
Something original.
Yeah,
Pinnacle
something
of
original.
comedy.
Exactly. We were fucking hilarious. Obviously, as it goes to show, because we were, just hung out with each other all the time, and everyone fucking hated us. But, anyways, Rob.
No, it's not Rob.
It's not Rob. I'm just saying it's
Yeah,
Rob so I can say
not
the name.
Rob. Just say Bob.
Bob.
Okay, it's Bob, not Rob.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Fucking Bob.
Yeah. Fuck
So
that
Bob. So Bob goes out onto the ice and he's like, we're like really testing the waters here and seeing how much it can hold. Like we're sliding, we're jumping.
No,
We're
okay,
like,
so
there
first-
was one point where we were like the ice is so thick, like we were like getting bats and stuff and trying to break the
That was
ice.
the weekend before. This was a week ago that we were on like the frozen solid ice. It was frozen all the way to the ground,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
We were just smacking bats on the ice, like trying to turn it into a curling rink or something. And then the week after
You're right.
we were there, and it was significantly warmer, probably like 5 degrees warmer.
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot.
No, I was about to say, no, it melted it a little bit, and so Bob goes out in the ice and just completely goes on, or like up to his head, like he caught himself like on the ice with his arm.
Dude, I was panicking. I was
Yeah.
like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not
I
doing
was,
like...
I was like, I forget like where I was.
You were standing behind me.
I-
You just started fucking dying.
I started laughing. I was like, see ya, Bob.
Anthony's seeing one of his friends potentially die, and he's
I'm
laughing
thinking, I'm like, this is a great story. I'm like, this is hilarious, dude. No, like in those situations, like I don't panic or anything. I'm just like, wow, this is happening. Here we go. But yeah, he just goes under. He just got a new phone at the time. He just like throws his phone out. He's like, oh.
Dude, I was so afraid he was gonna go like under the ice and not be able to get back up. But he held himself.
Yeah, he held himself.
Somehow got back
when
up.
When I got scared though is when he kept trying to get up and the ice was too thin at the
Yeah.
point he was trying to get up, so he kept breaking the ice.
God,
That's what
oh my
happens.
He
God.
had to pull him up.
No, that actually reminds me. This isn't related to you guys, but I have a very similar Boy Scout story about that, about people being stupid.
Gross.
Oh, okay, that's good.
No, this will be really quick. So like, I was in Boy Scouts. I didn't make it all that far. I was more into teaching.
He can tie knots.
Yeah, that is true. You know that more than most people. But
Whoa! And we'll be back with after a message
commercial.
from these sponsors.
no, so we're gonna call this one kid Ohio because he was named after a state, not Ohio, but he was
Okay.
named after a state.
Oh, Missouri.
Yes.
Of course.
Idaho.
No, so
Alabama.
Ohio was a very
Let's go through all the states.
Alaska.
All right, go on.
California.
Okay, so Ohio.
It's
so-
Virginia.
Oh my fucking god. No, so
We all know it's Delaware.
oh my god. Not inactive. Well, no, it wasn't Delaware. Anyway.
Rhode Island.
Anyway, no.
New Mexico.
Ohio is a smaller kid. He's like 15 at the time, so he should have some brains in him. And we had we called it like a high adventure camp out, where you go even more into the wilderness than usual. Like you do not have a cell phone reception, so it goes down.
South Dakota.
You're very close.
Stop.
No,
I actually was just saying shit out my ass. I was fucking around, like I didn't actually mean to hit it.
All right, his name's Ohio.
yeah. So Ohio, for whatever reason, so in Boy Scouts you have a bunch of requirements, and one of the requirements was a backpacking hike in the winter. And so we were like, okay. We all get in line, we start hiking. I'm a teacher at this point, so I was with them. And there was another guy with us, let's call him Tyler.
Let's call him Vermont.
Okay, his name's
Okay.
Vermont.
So there's Ohio and there's Vermont. Ohio's small, Vermont's really big. He's a much older scout. He's older than I. Stop being weird. These guys are giving me really weird looks right now.
Keep going.
Yeah, tell me more.
Ohio finds a very large stick and he starts using it as a walking stick. But one of the other kids in the group.
Was it fucking Canada?
Yeah, it was Canada. Fuck Canada.
Okay, Canada.
But gets pissed at Ohio, and while we were taking a break by a lake, grabs the stick that Ohio was using as a walking stick and just yeets it into like almost to the center of this lake. And I call
That's
it a
not very
lake,
Boy
but
Scout, if you ask me.
No, it's not.
It's pretty punk though.
It's punk.
We kind of beat him up afterwards.
That's punk.
That's pretty punk as fuck.
No, but
You guys have flannels on?
No, some people did.
That's not punk.
We had uniforms.
That's not punk.
That's not punk. Uniforms are the least.
That's
thing
the
I've
least
ever-
punk.
So Canada yeets this stick into the middle of this pond / lake. It was a large pond, small lake, and it lands on the ice, skitters across, and it's like just about in the middle. Ohio, the brilliant kid he is, starts walking on the ice to go and get it. No one's really paying attention, and Vermont doesn't see him until he's about a quarter of the way into the lake. And then the ice starts cracking, and this kid goes in. And we start freaking the fuck out. Because here's the thing, in that situation, it's obviously a race against time, but unless you can keep that person calm, chances are they'll drown, because you either need to have someone out to go out and get them, or manage to toss your rope that far, which unless you have something to weight it down, you might not be able to do that. So you need to have someone go out and get them and lay it on the ice, but you need to tie them in case they go in. So we were freaking out. Vermont, absolute Chad. He's like 6. Dude, he's I am exaggerating a little bit, but he's like 6'2", 6'3". He's a big guy.
Oh yeah.
He just steps on the ice like Ohio, made it about a quarter of the way in, maybe a little bit further. And he breaks in. Vermont just steps on the ice and immediately goes through, and we're like, holy shit, we're not going to be able to get this kid, because now we're going to have 2 people that we need to worry about.
Yeah.
All this for a fucking stick.
Yeah, I know, it was dumb as fuck. Meanwhile, you'd think that Ohio is freaking out trying to get it out of the ice, or out of the water, which he is, but he's trying to get closer to the stick. So he's actually making his way, what you said with Bob about how he was breaking the ice with his elbows, that's what this kid was doing.
Yeah.
So Vermont, literally, he gets this look on his face, and he's usually the nicest guy, but I can only describe it as, pure animal rage. He just starts smashing through the ice and starts trudging, and once it gets up to his chest, he's literally, doggy paddling, but, Donkey Kong slamming the ice. He grabs Ohio and just, I forget what it's called, it's like a side paddle, and he just swims back, throws him out onto the snow, by the way, this sounds perverted, but it's not. But when someone gets soaking wet like that, you take off their clothes and you get them to dry shit fast.
Yeah.
So just rips off the kid's uniform, throws him into a spare one. Meanwhile, he's soaking wet, and I swear to God, I touched his shirt, it was starting to freeze. It was cold out. He just strips off his shirt, he had taken off his jacket, throws his jacket back on, zips it up, his shirt was
Takes off his pants and jacket.
Blink-182.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
another topic I want to touch on in a second.
it was absolutely terrifying. And then, what's the name of the kid? Canada, the one who threw the stick in the first place. Yeah, after we got back to camp, he, some of the people had words with him.
That he's punk. He's punk as hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking
He almost killed a man.
Sorry for getting sidetracked.
Yeah, no, speaking of punk, that's another thing I wanted to mention. For us, just growing up and going through high school and everything.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Well, I was just gonna say,
not a
everyone
phase,
else
it's a
always
lifestyle.
listened to just shitty rap, and in our ears it was just wow,
Look.
this is the shittiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You can listen to whatever music you want. I don't have an issue with it.
Yes.
But it's just...
To us, it just sounds like shit.
Yeah.
I respect. Yeah, I of course respect anyone's opinions, but I just don't see the appeal. But anyways,
Here's
the thing
I
with
am a fan of old school rap.
yeah, and there are
has a story.
yeah, no, there are some rap songs that I enjoy. I like Beastie Boys. That's
not rap. I'll tell you right now.
well, I'm saying that's a form of rap that I would enjoy.
Which was originally a punk band. Which might be why you like it.
Yes,
Well, let me just say that right there.
I'm not a
That's-
psychiatrist.
That is true. That is true. But anyways, one thing that's been that really connected with Ben with, and Rob as well, is just music in general, because
even though Rob,
we have a very similar taste.
Are you
I would say. Well, no, I think that's fair to talk about our whole spectrum. So I would say we're all pretty big. We fall under the category of punk rock. Obviously, we're very angsty.
We're very punk rock.
Very
very hardcore.
And of course, I was in the band Cabin Fever, so I was very punk.
I was a roadie.
He was a roadie. Ben was like our tech guy. But anyways, so basically,
Rob was there.
the way I categorize like our music is like Ben is like the heavier, grungier, punkish.
I've got my Nirvana
sound.
shirt
He's
on
wearing,
right now.
his Nirvana shirt right now. I'm kind of in the middle, like I kind of like both sides, like pop punk, heavier stuff, and like everything in the middle.
Yeah.
Then Rob's on the opposite side with
he's like
the pop
Fallout Boy,
punk, emo.
Can I bring something up about that?
Go for it.
So I don't know what brought you guys into like the punk genre, but in middle school, what brought me into that was I had a crush on this girl, and she listened to Green Day, and she watched anime, and that's what made me.
And now Rob is who he is today.
Look at me now.
Honestly, let's talk about how we even got into the scene.
I'm trying to think. Dude,
I started out with Green Day. I'll start off while you guys think. I started off with Green Day, and this, Ben's rocking the Nirvana.
Of course.
But no, I started out with Green Day, and this is gonna sound super kind of cringe, but I was in a Catholic school growing up. My parents are
That's punk.
No, my parents are very, very conservative.
Not punk.
Not punk at all. To the point where I listened to Holiday, and I thought it was like satanic death metal the first time I listened to it.
And then you listen to the other stuff and you find out, wow, this is closer to pop than.
For real. So then after that, I was actually like listening to I was on a meme page, and there was like a meme with like Fall Out Boy in it, and I looked up the lyrics, and I really like Fall Out Boy.
It's probably Sugar We're Going Down.
No, I think it was. No, it's a good song.
Okay, I will concede it's a pretty good song.
Thank you. But then I got into Panic at the Disco.
Dude, they don't even play disco.
it's not punk either, it's rap.
I got into Panic at the Disco, and I branched out from there. Now I'm definitely still in the pop punk phase, but I have been getting into like harder, sort of like alternative grunge. I actually have a couple screamo songs on the playlist that I'll play.
Nice.
In a bad mood.
Nice.
But that's
love me some screamo every now and then.
Slayer!
I formed a crush on the girl in middle school, and look at me.
There you go.
I messed up.
Really molds a man into
who he is,
today.
yeah. My dad, he had Americana and Smash by The Offspring, and he used to play it in the car sometimes. And then I found it on Spotify like 10 years later or whatever. I'm like, shit's really good.
Yeah.
So then I guess it all branched out from there. And then I found Nirvana on Spotify, and I'm like, this is the one band that I can listen to every single song they've ever made and enjoy.
Yeah, that's the same with me and Green Day.
Yeah.
My process of like finding music was a little weird. For me, I always grew up with like, I'm a big classic rock fan too.
Oh yeah.
And I was about to say we all are, so.
The Led Zeppelin.
That's the one thing I think we all 100%.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I feel like everybody has in common. You
You
can appreciate
dude.
Journey. Everybody.
Dude, I will like be playing guitar, and people are like, "Oh, what song is this?" I'm like, "You don't know fucking Crazy Train? You don't know Highway to Hell?"
Dude, I feel like everybody has some fucking Crazy Train.
Dude, nobody. No, I swear, dude. Like the majority of people I've met at college don't know shit about classic rock.
Okay.
It's so trippy at college. You hear so much like trap rap coming from the frat houses.
Yeah.
It like. I don't know why. It just makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like there's so much being missed out.
Dude,
I know, dude. No,
I'm
I'm hurting for them. I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are missing out on these bangers. Like,
With that said though, I have a small confession. You know how like when we were like middle school and like Teo Cruz, like Dynamite was playing and all that stuff.
Oh,
I feel like if you played that at a frat house,
dude, they would go down.
I think, that's different because that's like nostalgia.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like this day and age, it's just like, what's an artist from this year, like newer artists that you could remember 20 years down the line? See, that's the thing. The whole music scene is like,
this is a cop-out, but
I
am gonna have to do Brendan Urie, but that's because in his live concerts, he's doing a lot of covers of Billy Joel and Bon Jovi. Okay. And so obviously, like, he's
Bon Jovi. I hate Bon Jovi.
That's fair, but you have to admit he's a classic.
Oh, he's a classic.
Yeah. And so that's obviously a cop-out in the sense that, like, it's not his music, but he's got such an amazing music.
But like
apart from him,
think about like the past, like all these classic rock artists that we're still listening to today, even into the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
All these names are still big and relevant versus I can't name shit.
Okay, well
nowadays, and I don't think it'll be remembered.
Yeah, no,
like, or even just think about it like this: like all these bands from the 70s. There's so many that you could rattle off, and then you think the 90s. There's just there's less. There's still a lot there, but there's just significantly less. And over time, it's just going downhill.
The Black Keys.
Yeah, no, the Black Keys are really good.
They're modern, and people still listen to Gold on the Ceiling, and what is that other song?
No, that's a really fair example. That's a good example.
Which Akron, baby, represents.
Akron, baby! What is it, Lonely Boy?
Yeah, Lonely Boy. I like Lonely Boy.
Going off of that question, though, I think 20 years down the line, I think we'll still be listening to, like, the classic guys, of course. But I think if any modern artist is going to have even a remotest chance of making it past, 10, 15, 20 years, it would probably be, like, Shawn Mendes or...
Yeah.
I was actually thinking him.
What's the dude with the red hair? Ed Sheeran?
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with them. Here's the thing with them. I'm sorry if you're fans, but I like their voices. I do not necessarily like their songs.
Okay, well, I kind of like Taylor.
You like?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, I like a couple of Taylor Swift songs. I like a couple of Ed Sheeran songs. But, like, as a whole, no. Really does not butter my bread.
And see, like you said, like, that those are only like 4 or 5, but like
if you're talking about an entire album,
exactly. They're going all these art, like I said, like all the 70s people, like dozens, almost. I would say like there are good 100 at least names that
from the 70s,
and Joel's still top of the charts.
Right, exactly, and just those numbers have gone down.
I don't even like Billy Joel that much. I like some of his stuff, but no, he's a little too light for me,
Oh, okay.
But I think another thing is the people that grew up with that music are still alive today. They're like our parents now, right? Right. Yeah. Gen X, I guess you can call boomers a little bit.
Shut the fuck up, boomers.
Shut up. but definitely Gen X and millennial, like they sort of grew up with the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Kind of the 60s, so that's still a big part of their life. They're still listening to that, and they pass it on to us, so we still listen to that sometimes. And I feel like we'll pass it on to our kids, like, oh, look, it's fucking Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah.
Because
I was about to say that just made such a big splash and everything. Yeah, no, it's definitely the way I forgot to say this. The way I got into just I like Ben was saying like. My family had classic rock around all the time. Like, my dad would always turn on AC/DC or the Eagles. And then I would say it was like middle school, like I rediscovered AC/DC. I always like get
and now I'm sick
of
them.
The weirdest ways. No, I am. Like I was watching that 70s show and they played TNT. I was like I know that song, so then I looked it up and then I went into it and just started diving into AC/DC. And that's how it always was. Like, the next band I really started looking into was the All American Rejects, because I saw, we were packing we were going through our DVD cabinets just to see if we can get rid of stuff, and I found me and my sister had Kids Bop when we were younger.
Oh, fuck
so
that.
Move Along was on one of their, like I just like
Not
looked on
punk.
the back.
Not punk.
It was not punk, but I looked on the back. I was like, Move Along. Like I know that song. I remember like that was the only song I liked on this. So then I looked it up, and once again got into there. And then the way I got into Green Day, which is my favorite band, was my parents have season passes to the concert venue by us.
I remember this.
And they were like, oh, you can go. They're like, you can choose one concert a year to go to, and like we'll let you have the tickets. And so I looked up concerts, and they like said Green Day was coming. I was like, I know, like I hear that name all the time, but I don't know anything about them. And then my boner just grew to the biggest amount I've ever had. And
Washington Monument size?
Yes. No, bigger than that. But it was, yeah, I get into music in the weirdest ways and find the artist weird, but my process is like I will like go through these artists and listen to them for a while before I go on to the next.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely in the punk scene. Definitely like that is my style of music, and like while I do like so many other things like like classic rock or like folkier stuff, punk is definitely my go-to, and that won't really change.
Also, yeah, we should probably start wrapping it up too. It's
Yeah,
I was about to say
I want to talk about just like more of our music ideals and opinions and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm so down to keep talking about it.
Yeah, because
it's such an important part.
I was about to say this is like such an important thing for us, and yeah.
Every road trip we've been on, just all the.
I was
the
about to say
playlists.
like, just like jamming out, thrashing in the car. It's awesome.
If we had a bad
Like
day
some
at
of our
school,
best memories.
Yeah, no, if we had like a bad day or a bad week at school, just hopping in Anthony's Jeep, just thrashing it out.
Nothing like it.
Laying on the roof, staring at the stars.
Yeah,
It's good.
that's the fucking way she goes.
And every so often I'll get bored with Anthony's playlist. I'll be like, hand me that aux cord, let me blow up some fucking suicidal tendencies in here.
And every so often I'll convince Anthony to give me the aux to play.
And
one
I
song.
immediately regret it.
And then we take it back.
Rob, okay, I'll just say this real quick before we end it.
Yeah.
I
Rob
apologize.
always,
I'm sorry.
he always asks for the aux. And I'm pretty easygoing about most things, but like aux in my car, I'm just like, no, like unless it's like Ben or someone I really trust, I'm like, no.
Not me. no.
I'm literally like, no, like this is
Yeah.
my thing, like
That's really
you
sweet.
fuck off, this is my car. Like, and I don't care about being a dick about that. Like, when I'm in my other friends' cars, they always pick shitty ass music that I absolutely hate, and I'm not gonna let that happen in my car. So then Rob always starts off really strong. He'll always start off with a pretty solid song, and then just slowly diminishes.
And then
See,
he'll
what
go-
happens is I get a good reaction from the first song, and I'm like, if he likes this, because I want him to like my music, so I'm like, if he likes this, he might like this. Because usually when I add songs to my playlist, I'm going through like a mood, and they all have a very similar theme around them. So I'm like, if one of them like strikes him the right way, like maybe he'll like the rest. But no, I'm sorry.
And then he puts on the Phineas and Ferb 21 Guns remix.
It's a good song.
It's a good song when it was done by Green Day originally.
The funniest part is 21 Guns by Green Day is 21 Guns by Phineas and Ferb. You can't even put like a Phineas and Ferb voice over it, because Green Day sounds like Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, just slightly lower pitch.
Right. Alright.
Do you know? Oh, is that how we're gonna end this?
Yeah, we're ending it on that.
I thought we were gonna like start singing.
No.
Oh, no.
No, you can do that on your own podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Okay,
Okay,
so we're gonna end
everybody.
this.
Okay, we're not gonna have Rob on again.
Oh, please.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
But yeah, so
Okay, he crossed his.
I'm kidding.
don't hit the table and let's say goodbye.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for coming on, Rob. We were of course so stoked to have you on.
so
Stoked,
stoked to
dude.
be
I was.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what we'll talk about next week.
If we get any emails, we'll definitely talk about whatever the
Yeah.
emails want us to talk about. You can hit us up with what's your email? Shit, I don't even remember our email.
Is it Goon Gang?
Just
911.
keep talking. I'm gonna look it up. Talk about like any.
Yeah.
Weather, sports,
Fuck.
And this is why Rob's not a permanent member.
Okay, I can't find our email. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
But send us emails. Just hit us up. We'll talk about anything. We like hearing ourselves talk.
Yeah. We like to ramble on, as you can tell. Like
sound
this
like
is
a pundit.
this has gone a little longer than expected, but
Hopefully you'll be bored enough to like listen through the whole thing. I mean, if it's too long, go ahead and pause it. Just come back later. We're still here.
We're still here. We're still waiting.
But yeah.
Am I still waiting?
All right, let's get out of here.
Alrighty. Let's get it.